Welcome to the Alkalign Lifestyle School. I'm your guide today, Fidelis Snuggle II. Today I'm teaching you guys about how subconscious programs negatively impact your relationship, your sexual relationship, and how the honeymoon effect is the answer to every argument, fight, or breakup. If you just figure out how to get the honeymoon effect to happen all the time, you're never going to have a problem relationship. So here's how we dissolve any complaint, any argument, any disruption, any rift between two partners. And it's simple. But first, we're going to show you what actual sexual frustrations, desires, and sexual fears occur from negative subconscious programs. So, again, I always define what sexual energy is. Sexual energy, in this case, of how we teach it in the Alkalign Lifestyle School, is energy of the orgone. And what the orgone is it's essentially the energy all around you, which is the invisible energy all around you. But in terms of sexual energy, that determines your actual vitality and why people are so much low energy, are so little energy. Not so much, but so little energy, is because their vitality is being blocked, because it's being repressed, because their sexual repression is causing them to basically shrink their own energy field. So this is what sexual energy actually is. It's not just the energy of intercourse. It's not just the energy exchange in intercourse from two sexual partners. It's actually the energies all around you at every moment, a time and point in space, and it's potential energy that can be transferred into something brand new. So if you think of creation of any kind in terms of like a sexual experience, when you create food, when you, like if you're a chef and you create a dish, if you're a project manager, like an architect, and you draw a new building or something that you create out of nothing, essentially the sexual experience. And that's how we look at it in terms of energy of the orgone. The energy of the orgone was created by Wilhelm Reich. And what Reich said was that a person's lack of acceptance to surrender to the excitation of the climax of a sexual experience is why people have so many psychic illnesses. Now, they claimed psychic illnesses over a century ago, what you now claim as mental health issues. So mental health issues were just called psychic illnesses. So that's what when we explain what psychic illnesses are, we basically say that stress in this case is a psychic illness. Because in this case of stress, you have three types of stress, okay? You have traumas, you have toxins, then you have emotional stress, like thoughts. So you can have a physical injury that can cause a stress to you. You can have a chemical injury, essentially you eating something bad that poisoned you in some way. Or you can have thought trauma that comes from emotional, like, oh, I lost somebody, or grief or shame or something like that. And so all of these things hinder and cause a block in your sexual energy flow throughout your entire body. So let's go back to relationships is what we really dive into, because people don't really understand entanglement in this way. But if you can get to where you understand why you and your partner have such a problem or a hindrance, you can fix this problem or this hindrance just by fixing your actual mind. So we're gonna start right now with sexual frustrations. What are the sexual frustrations that come from miscommunication with partners? This is a common thing. But like I said, the cause today is going to be subconscious programming, because this is the cause for everything. Subconscious programming, the cause for everything. But mainly, we're going to dive in and say why and how is this causing. So miscommunication with partners. What does this actually cause? And why is this such an issue in terms of sex? Because, listen, when you have miscommunication with your partner, you have things that occur, obvious things. Arguing, that's an obvious one. You said this, no, you said that, no, you did this, no, you promised that, and so on and so forth. Arguing, fighting, physical fighting, that happens between partners, which is unfortunate, but physical fighting, it's just it's an escalation. And you're looking at things like, look at yourself again as a vessel. Think of yourself as you have gauges. You have pressure gauges, like stress. You have temperature gauges, which is essentially you having temperature, like, so rage, because anger, whenever you get hot, whenever the stove gets hot, you're angry. So whenever your temperature starts to go up, it's because of anger. Anger literally can cause an increase in temperature right then. And then think about when you have low energy. If you have high energy, you're in love. If you have low energy, you're in fear. So these two things can be barometers for you to check yourself, all right? So arguing, literally, that's a hot temperature. That's a high pressure situation too, because it's a stress, and also just fighting, and then manipulation. Yes, manipulation can occur. Just because of miscommunication with partners, sometimes this is purposeful, based on intention. They're doing it intentionally to manipulate you into some sort of outcome that they want, he or she, man or woman, both sides. And then you have dishonesty, which is an obvious one, because in many cases, you'll have someone say something but not be transparent whenever they communicate. So you have a lack of conscious language, lack of conscious awareness in terms of how you're projecting yourself between this person and this person. You have a disruption, literally, all because of miscommunication with your partner. But this is due to a sexual frustration. This is due to a sexual frustration because number two goes into desire, sexual desire, because you're desiring an authentic relationship. But this is the issue. You don't understand that you're not focused on the outside. You're not focused on the partner. You're not focused on, I desire an authentic relationship with my partner. No. That's not it. You're focusing on an authentic relationship with yourself. And you desire that first. It's not the outside. The frustration that's coming from miscommunication with your partner is coming from you don't want to listen to yourself. Miscommunication with your partner. So we're going to take off these words that say partners, because partner is not actually it. It's miscommunication with yourself that's causing a sexual frustration within you. And so that's why you're being repressed, because miscommunicating with yourself means God told you go here. God told you say this. God told you to want this. God told you to proclaim this. God told you to affirm this, and you refused. Who's God? It's you. It's everybody in here connected to the same thing. It's all of us. But we all have a unique perspective what the Creator wants us to see and wants us to experience in life. You aren't following instructions. So there's your step number one. Miscommunication with yourself is causing you to argue with your partner, fight with your partner, manipulate your partner, and be dishonest with your partner. And now it's causing you to desire an authentic relationship with your partner, but it's still yourself. So now you're seeking comfort in someone else. Now you're running to go somewhere else because now you're thinking, well, maybe I can go to find something, or I can go to find someone that's going to accept me. Someone's going to go to love me. No, that's not how it works. You need to stop what you're doing to love yourself. Seek comfort in loving yourself before you go run to somebody else. Then you're going to say, well, I feel depressed. And I'm just so sad because, I want to be authentic, and I want someone who's authentic, who's really them, and who's being them at all times, and you ain't even doing it for yourself. So then, not only are you going to be feeling depressed, trying to look for something in somebody else, you're going to not take care of your self-care. That's what happens. Here's where you get the people who get overweight, all right? You start to get people who not only do they get overweight, they lose things. You begin to lose money. You begin to lose your company, your business, your clientele. Why? Your vibration is changing. It's lowering. You're lowering everything about you. Your standard of excellence that you once had for yourself is now diminished. It's now long gone. You ain't got no more because now you're desiring something that you don't want to express within yourself. So, 3, you have the fear now of vulnerability. Those are your sexual fears. The most vulnerable position that you have is whenever you're about to engage in sexual intercourse with yourself or your partner. It's the most vulnerable part because you don't have anything to stop you. There's nothing to block you. It's just you within you. Here's me. You're just gonna bear it all. And if you have a fear of being vulnerable, what happens to you? You start to go outside into the world. You begin to attract nothing but fakeness. Fake friends, fake people, fake partnerships, fake relationships, fake everything. You know why? Because you're faking it the entire time. Because you aren't actually being transparent. You don't even know what transparency is. Because if you don't have the courage to be vulnerable, because being vulnerable takes courage. Being able to express yourself authentically takes courage. Being able to be honest takes courage. And if you don't have that, you're going to be attracting to you at every moment in time, point in space, a person that is weak, a person that has no courage, a person that is not vulnerable. So you're going to be sitting there wondering why this partner that you have never asked you for help. Well, that's one key of being vulnerable, is asking for help and just saying, I don't know. The next one, withholding emotion. Once you start withholding emotion, it's pretty much over for you. And the majority of men withhold emotions because they're taught to withhold emotions. Because if they're not going to withhold emotions, they're going to have those emotions thrown back at them because women have been taught to catch and then throw it right back. And so what happens to the person is they usually are unable to differentiate between truth. They aren't aware enough. So a man can be telling you, hey, I need this. Hey, I need to, to have this. Hey, I need to do this. You have the wrong association with sex, with actual exchanging energy with me, so women, if your partner comes home and they say, it's almost like a joke now, right? Where men make it almost like a joke because they've basically been settling for it now. So then they just enable themselves to just say, you know what? Yeah, it's okay. I'm all right. She doesn't want to do it and all this stuff because she associates pain with sex instead of pleasure with sex. But this is the issue. And I'm telling y'all right now, as I told you in the last video, you have sexual potency. I'll write this down for y'all. So I'll put it right here. Sexual potency. Sexual potency, which is the ability. It's the ability, okay, for one to engage in sexual intercourse. The ability. Me being able to know I don't have to pop a pill. I don't have to take a Xanax or a X pill or what are those things called? You'll have like the pills to get an erection. These things, you literally are taking these pills because you have to get into the mood. So they have these things. I think they're called blue chews or something. It's like an actual industry now because people aren't able to get in the mood. They have a low libido and they have erectile dysfunction. So literally they have no sexual potency. They have to create it somehow, artificially. They can't use their imagination anymore. If that's not the most slave thing I've ever seen, is your ability to procreate is now being siphoned and it's now being given or delegated to a pill. Yeah, I mean, like a Viagra or something. That's crazy. And nobody thinks that's a problem. It's obviously a problem. You not having enough flow inside of your body to create sexual potency, men and women both. You have to have sexual potency. You have to have the ability to perform sexual intercourse. And then, this is the kicker. You can't just have the ability to perform it. You also have the ability to receive it. And this comes to orgastic potency. Now, orgastic potency is the ability to surrender to the excitation of the climax in a sexual act. Let's call it an orgasm. You can have an orgasm in your head just from raising the energy, the kundalini, of the base of your spine to the top of your head. Boom, you have an orgasm inside your brain. Lights up the entire brain. You can have an orgasm physically, where you still connect. And why is it an orgasm whenever a man and woman can connect? Because the woman's vagina is a portal. Look at it as whenever you go into an actual portal that brings forth life into this 3D realm. It's created within the womb and it's passed through the vagina, and now you have a brand new creation. It's a portal. So that's why your ability to surrender to the sexual act, this is going to be the masculine, it's going to be the potency, which is the ability to do it. And then the feminine perspective is going to be the ability to feel it, to receive it. Here's your two. Now, if you have a lack of these two things, if you have a lack of the ability to perform sexual intercourse, I guarantee you're going to have miscommunication. Because think about it. If you want to do it all the time, if you're attracted to your partner all the time, but your partner does not have the ability to do this, what are they going to do? They're going to say, I'm tired. I just don't feel it. Just not right now. I'm not in the mood. Oh, you know you're lying. Nah. The problem is that you don't have any orgasmic potency to be able to receive this. Is she tired? Yeah, she probably is tired. She probably does have low energy. But that's also due to the fact that you have love or you have fear. The issue is that love comes from orgasmic potency. Love comes from the ability of you surrendering to the actual sexual act. If you don't have the ability to surrender to a sexual act, you have no love. There is none. Because if the act is occurring at every moment in time, point in space, then you always have the ability or lack thereof. So that's where you get the arguing, the fighting, the manipulation, the dishonesty. Because the man wants it and the woman doesn't want it. Or the woman wants it and the man doesn't want it because he can't handle it. It's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. So now you both are desiring authentic relationships. You both are desiring these things and you're trying to seek it in somebody else. But here's where all this goes back into look in the mirror. If you don't look in the mirror and say, I don't listen to myself. I don't really trust myself because I don't do what I say I'm going to do. I don't say what I say I'm going to say, what I want to say. I don't go where I really want to go. If you don't actually be honest with yourself, how are you going to sit there to demand from somebody else honesty, transparency, which is the cause for communication? Me wanting to have clarity. You don't have any clarity, but you want clarity from your partner. It's impossible. So what I'm expressing to you is turn everything back on the inside and make sure that you understand that on the inside, you're the person that's not taking care of your business with yourself, your own business. So your sexual frustrations, they're coming out in terms of your partnership, but all it is it's exposing who you really are. So now here's how the cause Here's how the cause is subconscious programs. Okay, we're gonna get into this because this is gonna really show you guys just how powerful subconscious programming really is, and not only how powerful it is, how it changes your entire life, your entire relationship. So here, actually, I ain't gonna read this. So say you have 5 women, okay? So you're a man and you're dating, okay? And you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna connect myself to these, to go to the dating show or something, and I'm gonna find a person that fits me. Okay, all right. So here's you, male. All right, so that's you. You have 5 women. There's 5 women out here. Okay, here's 3, 4, and then 5. So you have 5 women, all with long hair. And there you go. Okay, so now this is how I'm going to show you guys how this works. This is the simplicity in this whole thing. This person, this gentleman right here, and it can be male to woman, or man to woman, woman to man. This gentleman, he is walking around giving off a certain form of vibration. He's giving off a certain form of vibration, which makes him essentially a tuning fork. If I am a tuning fork, what happens is I can hit something, I can radiate a sound from within me. And the sound that I'm giving off is going to attract directly back to me in resonance. In resonance. This is the key word. The key word is resonance. In resonance with the sound that I'm giving off, I'm going to attract back to me from one of these 5 women, okay, the same sound that I'm giving off. So if I'm giving off this frequency, which is happiness and joy, I'm in this happy, joyful state. Okay, so I'm smiling, just happy. Okay. This person, one lady is sad, one lady is angry, one lady is happy. Okay, one lady is let's say sad, angry, happy, guilty. She feels guilty. One lady feels fearful. For whatever reason, they're just giving off vibrations of this, right? This woman who's sad is gonna X herself out. This woman who's angry, X herself out. Woman feel guilty, X herself out. Fearful, X herself out. So it's gonna go happy to happy. What is the key here? The key here is this gentleman was happy, so he goes out and he finds the woman who's happy because he is a tuning fork. Now, how is he a tuning fork? There's these 2 things that you're gonna learn technology-wise, and they're called the EEG, electroencephalogram, which is when they put basically electrodes onto your head, and they want to see your brain activity. You've heard this before. They want to go and check and see what is the thought process, what's occurring, what's firing and wiring inside your brain. So they put a little cap on, they put it's like a gel, and it straps up onto your head, and they can check and see the electrical activity and neuroelasticity and connectivity into the thoughts that are leaving your head going back into your body. But then they have this second technology, which is called the MEG, which is the magnetoencephalogram. This is actually outside of your head. It's a mechanism you put your head inside of, and it tracks the thoughts that are leaving your head. So, what does this mean? This means that your head, right here, this is a person, nose, okay, and this is their head. This means that you have the EEG, which is going in here, and it's checking the thought that go back into your body from you to you. Then you have the MEG, which is checking the thoughts that are going out into the field. So all of a sudden, this happy gentleman was walking around so happy, and his happy thoughts were just going out to the field. And all of a sudden, he drew back to him in resonance the happy woman. Now, what is this telling you? What if he changed his vibration? And what if his frequency was not on happiness? Nope. It was on anger. It was on anger. Which one is he going to attract? Well, that happy one is going to be crossed out. And now this one right here that was crossed out, that was angry, we're going to highlight that one again. Because now he's going to draw in the angry one. That's the one he's going to draw in. Because this, he's sending out anger, he's going to receive back anger. Now, what if this is one relationship? And this is just 5 different times of the day where you have 5 different partners, man or woman. You have an angry partner from the hours of 12 to 2 p.m. You have a happy partner from the hours of 3 to 5. This is real. This is how it works. Because a person comes back, say you had a long day at work, about 7, 8 p.m., and you're coming back. What are you coming back to? A happy partner? A sad partner? Which one are you coming back to? Do you know? That's the issue that people don't actually understand. That this is now, you're tuning yourself. As soon as you walk into the door, and this is the part that you aren't getting. You have to put the fuel in first. You want to get a smile back? You have to smile first. Yeah, you want to be transparent? You want to have an intimate conversation? You want to have an intimate time? You want to be affectionate? You want to be just in a connected state with your partner, because this is what's going to allow your energy to flow, and now you're going to increase your vitality. If you don't actually put that fuel in first and stop making the excuse to say, I'm tired. You're not tired. You just don't love yourself. And that's just how it works. Yeah, it may sound harsh to tell somebody, hey, I think you're just not doing a very good job for yourself. Well, what are they gonna do? Probably gonna get defensive. How do you know? You don't know what I have to go through. You don't know what I do all day. You don't know I gotta cook and I gotta clean and I gotta do this and I gotta serve and I gotta serve this and I gotta do this and then. Man, nobody care about all that stuff. Look, the question is, do you love yourself or not? That's the question. Because if you love yourself, you'll do what your heart is inherently telling you to do that makes you feel great. If you don't do that, it's nobody's fault but your own. You can't blame anybody for your lack thereof. So now all of a sudden, your sexual frustration, you realize it's you. Your sexual desire, you realize it's you. Your sexual fear, you realize it's you. It's not your job. It's not your profession. Say you're a professional athlete. It's not your team. It's you. It's how you're perceiving what's going on. It's how you're perceiving it. It's not your business. Say you're a high-level executive, CEO. It ain't your company. It ain't the stock market. It ain't politics. It's not the president, Trump or Harris. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's everything that has to do with internally. What are you putting out into the world? Because you're getting it back at every moment in time and point in space. Doesn't matter if you're a content creator, YouTuber, celebrity of any kind. It doesn't matter. Because what I'm noticing is that the further away from harmony you are, usually the more popular people can get quicker. So it's almost like they have this false sense because of this instant gratification from doing the wrong thing. Being the wrong person doing the wrong thing. Literally, being the wrong person doing the wrong thing is very lucrative at this time right now. Until it comes back to you because you were doing the wrong thing. Being the right person doing the wrong thing, still gonna turn out right because you're the right person. Most people who are the right person doing the wrong thing, they just don't know they're doing the wrong thing. It's just ignorance. And then you have the wrong person doing the right thing. It's still gonna turn out wrong. Trust me, you just don't want to be the wrong person. So all you have to do is look at it from, you have these desires, you have all of these things that you want, and it's based, again, on sexual energy. You want sex, you want connection, you want communication, you want authenticity, because that's the highest form of vibration, is authenticity. Me loving myself unconditionally, unapologetically, is the fastest form of vibration, because you have no restriction, you have no restraint. You say what you want to say, you feel how you want to feel. Doesn't matter what somebody says or cares. It doesn't matter about anybody else's opinion. It only matters about what you affirm for yourself. Then you also have, you're also looking at it in terms of vulnerability. You're fearless in the face of vulnerability. You don't care, because you know you're connected to the entire thing, and you know God looking out for you. The universe always has your back. That's your opinion on how life is supposed to work. Then that's how life works for you. But if it's not your opinion on how life's supposed to work, that's not how life is going to work for you. It's going to work the way that you're putting it out, based upon the tuning fork that you are. So the tuning fork that you are, you're the tuning fork that's sending this out. You're the tuning fork. And these are all tuning forks, and they all have a tuning fork like this. They all have this. So now let's think in terms of situations. Situations can be, say you're going to be tuned to 5 different situations, okay? We'll call this one divorce court. That's one. We'll call this one romantic dinner. We'll call this one argument. We'll call this one, let's see, family. Let's see. Okay, so yeah. We'll call this one same person. And that's when somebody says, I'm attracted to the same person I've always attracted. That's a common thing that you hear. I always get the losers. I always get the lame guys or the I always get the mean girls and all. Yeah, right. Yep. Gonna put that one down too. And then so here we'll just do 4. Okay, so we'll have that. So I'll just say pattern. So pattern partner, which is the same partner over and over again. So you're this person, and you keep on putting out this same frequency and the same vibration. You keep on saying the same thing over and over again. I'm always getting the same girl, man. Just same woman. She don't care. She doesn't know how to be a wife. And same thing on the opposite side. I'm always getting all these lame men. They can't take care of nothing. They can't take care of me. Okay, boom. Both of y'all gonna X out the romantic dinner. You're also gonna X out the argument and also the divorce court, because these are situations with the same person that you are with right now. So this is a relationship. So you are one partner on one side. You're attracting this inside your other partner. So all of a sudden your pettiness, I'm always getting the same thing. They're thinking the same thing about you that you're thinking about them. It's gonna be a circle loop just like that. But then say the person comes home, right? And it's just a random time. They just come home and, it's been a long day. Something may have occurred. And all of a sudden, because you're sexually frustrated, in terms of miscommunication with yourself, what happens? You just start flipping out for no reason. They may have just asked you, honey, where are the keys to the car? Oh, what you mean, where are the keys to the car? What you talking about? What you getting mad for? Boom. This is causing you, again, to draw in the argument. What are you arguing for? You put that back out. This person now gets hostile and defensive. Boom. There goes your argument, your fight. And then, let's say you actually have a great time, a great day. You've been thinking about your partner all day, sending out nice little text messages and, hey, I'm so grateful for you. And hey, tonight, let's make it about us, right? And I'm gonna make dinner, I'm gonna do this, and some wonderful intimate time. You get back early, you leave the office early, you come back, and then boom, y'all get to go have a romantic dinner. You're having a wonderful time. Same partner now, same partner. All of a sudden, you're responding differently. You're putting something different out into the world. Boom, romantic dinner. But then say like years going by, months, years going by, y'all haven't had any sort of intimate connection with each other at all, and all of a sudden, things fall apart. And now where you at? Now you're in divorce court. Now all of a sudden, you had something, but you thought the grass is gonna be greener outside. No, that's not it. Somebody should have told you that the grass is always greener where you water it. And you weren't watering your relationship. You weren't fertilizing your relationship. You kept putting out the same things over and over again. And let me tell y'all that this is what is the cause. Subconscious programming. Now, how you would think subconscious programming is gonna cause sexual frustration, or a lack of sexual potency, or a lack of orgasmic potency? How is subconscious programming gonna cause this? Easy. You come back and all of a sudden, your partner starts responding to you in a completely different way. And you're wondering why is your partner responding to you in a different way? Well, you don't know that your partner does not know subconsciously what they're actually doing. And this is how you're gonna be able to tell. Somebody that you first get in a relationship with somebody, right? And you have what's called the honeymoon effect. I like to actually call it the love effect, because essentially it's just whenever you're in love. The honeymoon effect is basically you first meet a partner, beautiful person, man or woman, right? You're madly and just attracted to this person physically, emotionally, everything is perfect, everything is great. And what happens is you just stop thinking about everything. You stop thinking. You're just looking at yourself like, man, I'm on heaven on earth. Like, this is heaven on earth right now. Like, I'm experiencing it right now. And that's how it is, because whenever you're in the honeymoon effect, you're just in love. But what is the key? Because, well, whenever you have love is expressing like growth hormone and oxytocin and dopamine, things that you get that you usually try to go find from the outside, but you're building it from within. You're creating it from within. And all of a sudden, your partner is just the most remarkable thing that you've ever experienced in your lifetime. You're just obsessed with this person. You stop thinking. Now, this is the key that people need to understand. Subconsciously and consciously. Conscious mind, I'll write this again, conscious mind. So when you have your conscious mind, this is 5% of your life. 5% life. Subconscious. Subconscious, how much do you think this one is? Yep, if you answered 95%, you are correct. 95% of life. Therefore, their subconscious that you cannot see is responsible for 95% of your life. You don't know what your subconscious programs are? Look at your life. That's your subconscious program. Because you can have this one speck of positive thinking. You can try to force yourself to think positively. But just imagine 5% of your day, you're thinking positively. Here, I'll do the math for you. So you have 24 hours in a day, right? 24 hours in a day, which equates to 24 hours by 60 minutes, which is 1440. So 1,440 minutes a day. And you, for 5% of that day, for 5% of that day, you're going to think positively, consciously about your life. So how much of 1440 minutes a day? 5%, you're gonna think consciously. That is, oh boy, get ready for this. That is, yep, 1440 times 0.05, 72 minutes a day. You're thinking positively about your life for 72 minutes a day because you're thinking consciously 5% of your life. And then 95%, yeah, that's the rest of it. And that is, we're going to be specific, 1440 times 95%, 1368. 1368 minutes subconsciously per day. So this is the two. So this is how much time you're actually going towards your wishes and desires, things that you actually love and care about. But this is what you're actually going to do with your time. Let's talk about it in terms of relationship. So 5% of your life, you're conscious of your relationship. And this is only going to be during the time of the honeymoon effect, whenever you're in love. Now, how often you see a couple that's been together for years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and it's like they start to deteriorate. It's like they, instead of going in terms of growth, they're going the complete opposite direction, draining each other's battery because they're just so angry at each other, or they just hate each other, or they just can't stand each other, or they they're so out of tune with each other that they're causing destruction to each other. Literally, destructive interference between each other. This is how state of interference works. So you have two waves. One wave, which is one person, person A, another wave, which is person B. This is your sexual relationship. Your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, so on and so forth. You have these two waves, which then amount to a huge wave. This is constructive interference. When you're constructive and you're building up each other, when you're growing and you're building up each other, this is constructive interference. But the majority of people, instead of having a constructive wave, what happens to them? They do this. They have this wave, which is person A, this wave, which is person B, and instead of having a huge wave like this one that you see, they cancel each other out, and then it just goes to a flat line. They cancel each other out. Instead of making a +2, they make a negative. And so all of a sudden, they're not going +1 making a 2. They're literally making a negative on each other, destructively interfering with each other. And this is because subconsciously, they are running a program that is negative, because the majority of programs subconsciously in a person are negative. You have to become consciously aware of your patterns, because if you don't, you end up sexually frustrated, desiring things that you aren't putting out, and fearing things that you are putting out. It's you. Now, what do? How do you get into a honeymoon effect? Because it's just so hard to love people for whatever reason. It's just so hard to smile at somebody and then you get a smile back. Which I'm looking at people like, it's not that hard to be kind to each other. But why is it that most people treat their spouses or their sexual partners the worst out of anybody? But they can treat a complete stranger that they never met in their life, and they can look at that person like they're the most wonderful person and be as kind to them and nice to them and joyful to them. But how does that work? How is that possible? Why would you do that? Think about that. Just think about that. Well, most people just don't understand that all they have to do is reprogram their subconscious mind, because this is where the response comes from. This is where whenever you come home and you say, honey, where's the keys? And he starts snapping at you. What you mean, where the keys at? That's subconscious. That's a subconscious response. Or you come back and you're happy to see your spouse, your wife, she looks wonderful, you're attracted to her, and you say, I'm so excited to be intimate, to have sex with my partner. And she says, I'm good, I'm too tired. What? You would be surprised. That's also a subconscious response. Where do they come from? They're downloaded. They're downloaded from what you saw from ages 0 to 7 when you were in theta brainwave state, from ages 0 to 7 years of age. You were downloading what was around you. So you saw your you saw your parents entangle with each other. You saw how they interacted in their relationship. You saw whenever mom came home or dad came home and they were arguing and they were fighting, or they were being manipulative, or they were being dishonest with each other, because you can tell when somebody's being dishonest when you're a child. You can see everything going on. You know this person's lying. You can feel vibration stronger when you're a kid than when you're an adult. So you know the entire time. You know, you can see it and you can feel it. So subconsciously, it's programming you to think that this is how couples are supposed to respond. You're literally mimicking your parents' relationship. Whomever was your guardian, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, mom, dad, sister, brother. You're mimicking the people who you saw, their interactions. So all your interactions are going to be the exact same, because you didn't subconsciously become aware of what your pattern responses were. You didn't actually become aware of what you were putting out. So you didn't consciously look at yourself and say, gosh, I wonder where all this stuff is coming from. Why am I causing so many disruptions in my own relationship? Where is it coming from? Well, here's the key. The key, right, is that your subconscious mind, where is this mind? Where on my body is my subconscious? Who's storing all these emotions that I'm expressing? Oh, in case you didn't know, now you know. Your gut. Your gut feelings. That's what's storing all these emotions. Your gut is storing all of it. So until you cleanse the gut, until you clear this gut out, until you change what's going in, the feedback from what's coming into this nervous system, from your enteric nervous system, is not going to change. You have to be the change and change what you're fueling yourself with. You have to cause a rift. You have to hit the reset button. And then when you hit the reset button, you have to actually play something on the tape recorder of your subconscious mind to now get you to play back something completely different. That's what you have to do. Because you cannot think that 72 minutes out of every single day, you're going to be a kind, wonderful, loving husband, or a kind, wonderful, loving wife. A sexually expressive person that has sexual freedom and just orgasmic potency and is always ready to receive the climax of excitation. No, you're not going to be that person for 72 minutes out of 1,440 minutes a day. You have got to figure out how to reprogram subconsciously how you really want to feel. So this is where you got to go into cleansing. You got to go into detoxification, changing your diet, rehydrating yourself, and also reprogramming your mind. Reprogramming your mind. Now, what I teach people to do at Alkalign Lifestyle School is, first of all, detoxify your gut. So the first thing that you have to go do is you have to find a formula that goes in, that gives you a brand new pattern, that makes all these emotions, thoughts, feelings, which are just chemicals, because emotions are chemicals. It's a chemical mixture that you created from yourself based upon your own perceptions of what was going on around you. You made it. You made the cocktail of chemicals that went into your body. You created the cortisol. You created the inflammation. You created those responses. So now you have to go back in and you have to go clear them out. So first thing that you do is cleanse. Looking for a cleanse? Click the link below in my description. I have my awaken, daytime, and replenish, nighttime. 2 formulas that not only cleanse your gut, they cleanse your lymphatic system, and they also cleanse your lymphatic system, which gives you the time for you to reset yourself. But let's keep going. Once you cleanse this gut, the cells inside the gut, not only does your microbiome get a brand new program, but you now have the time and the capability to now take what consciously you want and now go in, record and write and record, I would say 300. Give yourself 300 affirmations. Write and record them in a positive present tense. I am here. I am this person. I have this thing. I live in this home. I earn this much amount of money. And you have to keep on playing it back. Because when you think about the tape recorder, subconscious mind, there's nobody in there. You can't go into the subconscious mind like it's like a DVD player and change the movie that's playing. There's nobody there. You have to change the movie that's playing. So you have to actually record a brand new one. So the first thing that you do, first step, take my detox, cleanse your cells. Second thing that you gotta go do, rehydrate the body because the water carries the information, the nutrients and the minerals. And then main thing, change your food. When you change the food, all of a sudden, new information begins to go inside your body, and all of a sudden you begin to process your surroundings completely different. And then the master key is to reprogram the mind with repetition. Find an MP3 player. Simple. You can use your iPhone if you want to. Play the voice recorder app. Record yourself speaking over 300 affirmations. Make sure you speak in positive present tense. I am, I have, I earn, I live, I drive, whatever it is, and be detailed, fully detailed, with clarity. Don't ask yourself how you're gonna get it, just speak it. This is what you mean by fake it till you make it. You actually have to practice being the person that you are desiring to be. And in terms of sexual energy, this is not gonna increase your vitality. The reason why your energy is low is because you're blocking yourself from the experience and from the expression. So now the reason why your energy will be high is because you're enabling yourself and you're taking on the accountability for doing it, and you are doing it. This is where the change comes in. So now what happens when you reprogram your subconscious mind? Now you have the honeymoon effect of love all the time. Why would you not say, I have the most wonderful, harmonious relationship? Why would you not say that? You just don't say it. Think about how many times you actually go in and say that. And maybe you're a person that grew up with divorced parents, or you grew up in domestic disputes, right? Or you grew up in domestic violence. You grew up seeing the complete opposite of what you're desiring. You don't know how to get to it. You ain't got no program for that. You have to create it for yourself. So this is where the honeymoon effect of love comes in, because love is what creates the wonderful chemicals. Love is what now stores those into your gut. But if you never ever make it a point to reset by clearing out the negative ones that have to come back into your body now, because whenever you do a detox, it floods your body with everything negative before it ushers it out of your system. It has to come back into your system, and then it pushes it out of your system. So for a short amount of time, you're going to feel like you're in a fight or flight response, and you're going to feel like you're in a stressful response, but your body's now helping you. That's when you go to whenever you have a cleanse, whenever you have a detox. So you got to clear out the bad things, the bad patterns, because it's all about patterns. When you can realize that your patterns where you were a tuning fork that was tuning you to the bad vibrations of your partner, and your partner never knew. So they're answering you back with an argument. They don't know why they're answering you back with an argument. They ain't got no clue. And that's because they're thinking. Because for 1,440 minutes a day, only 72 minutes are they going towards what they really want in terms of a heart. The remainder of the time, they're just playing a subconscious program that they downloaded from 0 to 7. That's what they're doing. They don't know. You may think that you married your spouse, but no, most likely you probably married your spouse's mom or dad. That's who you probably married. And I mean, if that person did not have a harmonious relationship, I don't know why you would, because I don't know how they learned how to do it. They didn't. They probably got it from a TV show, or maybe from a soap opera. And so you really have a soap opera relationship. You now have a daytime TV soap opera relationship. That's what you got. So ultimately, when you take it upon yourself to not only cleanse yourself, change your diet, your lifestyle, rehydrate your body, get brand new information, and repeat on repeat a brand new subconscious program through affirming, constantly affirming, and practicing your new behavior. Going out and saying, I want compliments, so I compliment. I want affection, so I give affection. You have to actually be the person. Be the change that you want to see in your partner. How's that? Be the change that you want to see in your partner. Like, share, subscribe, pass it to your partner. I'm here to help you build your sexual relationship. I want you guys to be able to get entanglement and feel the love with yourself first, unconditionally. And then as you feel it unconditionally with yourself, you'll feel it unconditionally from everybody else, which is your partnership. If you're looking for a cellular cleanse that can get you the time, not only the time, but a brand new subconscious program, clear out all the bad emotions that have been stored inside your body, click the link in my description. I have Awaken and Replenish. You can cleanse yourself daytime, you can cleanse yourself nighttime. And after that, if you're looking for a full-on program, I have a VIP generational health program that's going to help you not only rebuild your relationship, align your chakras, cleanse your lymphatic system, but it's basically just going to change your life. And if you're looking for knowledge and information on how this works and why this works, sign up for my Become More Alkalign Challenge at the end of every month. Until next time.